Oh, thank goodness international football is over. Bring me back to Oxford versus West Brom. That's where the real football is at this weekend. We've got our Baggies fans here on the quickest and most comprehensive review of all things West Brom on the internet to preview a game which is absolutely fascinating. The bookies odds. Oxford against West Brom. Neither can decide who's going to win it. Let's see if this lot can split the difference. This is where Baggies walk. This is a game that's going in nobody's accumulator this weekend. Oxford against West Brom, the most difficult of all 12 fixtures to pick as the championship returns after a 2-week break. Welcome back, Dean, Ben, and Aaron and Dan. Let's get your views on what should be a fascinating fixture. Dean, you looking forward to your visit to the Kassam?
I am, yeah. It's just down the road from me. I live in Leamington Spa, so it's closer than the Hawthorns. Even though parking's a nightmare, but yeah, I am, yeah.
Yeah, it's a proper old ground. Well, it's not even a call it a ground.
It's
only yeah, a proper new ground, but proper new in terms of it's only got 3 sides with a bowling alley as a backdrop. Ben, how'd you go away beating a side that haven't lost at home?
Good question. I think our way of form has been pretty positive at the start of the season. I think the way we're playing at the moment, I think we're going to get much more joy away from home. I think teams are going to come at us a bit more, leaving a bit more space in behind for our attacking players to do their thing. So hopefully that'll be the case on Saturday.
Okay. All right, Dan, Aaron, before the break then, all social media was screaming for some changes. Mix this up a bit, they said. We're getting too predictable. Teams know how to beat us. So, okay, Dan, Aaron, you're in charge of this squad. Dean said he wouldn't change anything, I think 2 weeks ago. Would you? And if so, what?
To be honest, Jay hasn't really performed as well as what he should be. So to be fair, I think I'd drop Hegum into the middle, see what this Frabotto's like out on left back, and then to keep the same side, to be honest. But then again, I think I might just swap like Dean Garner, put Swift back in. But then Dean Garner out on the left for Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a few changes there. Go on, Aaron.
I'd go with something similar. I mean, I'd like to see Hegum actually in his natural position at centre half. I mean, I think it would be Callum Stiles at left back for me over Frabotto. I think when he came on against Borough, he actually provided us a few decent passes, at the end of the game. A few forward passes is what you want to see from your fullbacks as well. So yeah, I'd have him in just to see how he goes. And like Dan said as well, Ajayi hasn't been the greatest, and to be fair, neither is Bartley. But Bartley, I think, is the better player than Ajayi. So I'd have him next to Hegum. And I don't agree with 3 wingers as your front 3. Dean Garner, I can't see him as a central attacking midfielder. I think he's a winger, and that's his role, that's his position. So if he was to play, he'd be out wide for me. But personally, I'd bring him back Carlin Grant. I think he hasn't had a bad season so far, and I understand he's probably dropped for fitness reasons, and obviously he played midweek against Borough as well. But he's been one of our better players to start the season, so I'd definitely bring him back in.
Okay, Ben, anything to add to that?
No, I mean, I think there's a case to drop both, or either Jay and Bartley. I think neither have done amazingly. Both great defenders, but on the ball, I think that's their weakness. And Hegum seems to be much more comfortable on the ball, and Stiles look decent at left back. Swift at 10, I think, is much better option than Dean Garner. I think he just gives us a bit more craft behind Maja, and I'd bring Carlin Grant back in. I think he's not done much wrong all season.
Okay. Dean, I want to ask you about the next run of games, if that's okay, because we break up now for the next and final international break in 6 games' time, which is after the Remembrance Day weekend against Hull. And Baggies only have 2 home games in that spell, one against Cardiff and the big one against Burnley, which is an evening game in a couple of weeks' time, with trips to Oxford, Blackburn, Luton and Hull. What's the minimum point return expected from this set, do you think?
Oh, dear. I would say I'd like to say a minimum of 12. To be honest, we got 2 points a game. You look to, don't you, to get promotion? So 6 games. I would like more, to be honest. And every one you look at them, and everyone's winnable. But like the last 2 home matches, every year we have 2 home matches on the bounce, and we always rub our hands thinking, "Oh, this could be 6 points." And every year we never do it. It's normally 1 point every year from the 2. And sure enough, this year was the same. So.
Okay, I mean you've got a chance. I mean you've certainly got a chance, haven't you? At Luton, they have not started well. Hull a crazy team to play as well. But Oxford and Blackburn will put up significant tests for you. It will provide significant tests for you, certainly, won't they? Okay, but still a decent start for the Baggies. I promised you last week I'd be asking you for your new season predictions because this is now 10 games into the season and we're allowed to do that. So starting with you, Aaron, I think you predicted something like 16th, 17th. Did you last time I asked you this?
Well, no, I think I said 6th or 7th, not 16th or 17th. I think
that was me. That was.
Oh, that was you. Okay, I'm sure. Right. Okay. Of course, it was you. Where will Baggies finish this season, Aaron? Based on what you've seen.
If you'd asked me before the Sheffield Wednesday game, I would have said top 2 easily. I think we played every team off the park we played. I think, we were showing some really quality football. But, the week after that, Sheffield Wednesday, Borough, Millwall, we sort of fell off a cliff in a sense where, a lot of people said we were found out, which I can agree with. Our style of play sort of faltered a bit as well. And I think that the fans and players themselves sort of, came to a realization that, we're not definitely the best team in this league. And there's actually, a lot of teams in this league that are up for a fight. But it's a long old season. I think we've got a good squad and we've definitely got the best manager in the league. So I'd definitely say that we'd finish minimum of 4th, in my opinion. But I'd say a good 3rd place.
All right. Dan?
Yeah, I think I was being way too harsh on us at the start of the season, but what would you expect after that friendly against Birmingham? But yeah, my mind's totally changed, and I think anything lower than 6th after the start we've had, I wouldn't exactly call it a failure, but yeah, I'll probably go top 6.
Okay, Dean?
Can't disagree with Dan and Aaron. Playoffs minimum, I think now, and yeah, really disappointed if we miss out on the playoffs. Possibly top 2. I mean, who's a decent team in our division? We've just had a disastrous 3 games and we're only 2 points off the top.
This is it. They're all dropping points. Ben?
I think 10 games is still a bit hard to predict. I think, like say, sort of 15, 16, when you played a bit more variety of teams. I think bar Leeds haven't really played any of the so-called big teams yet. I think after the next block of games, and we're still sort of averaging 2 points a game, you can still definitely look at sort of top 2, and as the lad said, playoffs minimum, I'd say.
All right, okay. Drop us your predictions down below as to where you think Baggies will finish, and we'll ask you again just before Christmas when we get to that 15-16 game, Ben. We'll remind you of that. Thank you very much for joining us. It's good to have proper football back. Enjoy your trips to Kassam, those of you that are going, and we'll see you next week. And, of course, enjoy your trip to Ewood Park as well, and then we'll review all of it in a week's time or so. Thank you very much for joining us. Drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. You know what to do. Great to have you along this magical and bumpy ride with us. Cheers, everyone. Have a great week.